Call the meeting to order. Karen, do you please do the roll call?
Chris,
Here.
Heather. Here. Sally,
Here.
Nancy. Yes. Jim.
Here. Here. Do we have any amendments to the agenda for today's meeting? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve?
So, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we have any amendments to the minutes from last month's meeting? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I see we have no public in the house today, so I would assume there's no public comments. Do we have any calls or anything? Okay. We have nothing on the consent calendar for this meeting. We have one public hearing item, consideration of an application from Tim Wilkinson for a variance from the 20-foot rear and 10 side yard setback requirements at 505 Excel Street in order to construct a 520 square foot shed 5 feet from the property lines. We have a letter from the neighbor, but we have nobody here to testify on this. There's no objections on the letter. Do we have a motion so we can discuss it?
Talk about the consideration of this variance for Tim Wilkinson on its property as requested.
Second that.
Okay. Usually you have to motion in the affirmative for the variance. Yeah. So, okay. Just want to make sure is that you're saying that we were going to approve?
Well, I said
Discuss.
approve
Yeah.
it. Yes,
Okay.
I said approve it.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
We'll have discussion, yes.
Okay. All right, it's been moved and seconded. Commissioner comments.
One of the issues is that when you read it, he's asking for 5-foot variance, which is not really true because when you have the overhang.
Right.
Overhang would actually put it closer. And the whole reason for down south, most places have a 6-foot variance. It's in the code. And I'm used to that. The reason why is it's for utility and like fire department stuff access. And so because he has a fence there, that even shrinks that space. So personally, and I know it's a small lot, but I'd prefer to see a 6-foot variance on it, just so that you can have that access.
Okay.
Talking both back and side.
Yes, it doesn't say if it has a fence in the back.
Well, and I think it says fence on 3 sides on the property.
Okay, okay. So,
The other thing is that because of code regulations, that is, you've got to have a minimum of 10 feet separation for fire. And that's from any part of the structure. So we need to make sure it's clear that whatever we do as a variance is from any part of the structure. So that's, not, that includes eaves, gutters, etc. So.
Anybody know what he's going to use the building for?
To sit in the sun,
Well, that's the front of it, but what about the building itself?
as big as twice as big as my house.
Can't they turn it on the lot to make it a little bit more friendly
Well-
setback style?
wait, I know he said that he was gonna put plant gardens or something.
In front of it, yeah. I know he does a lot of woodworking and stuff like that, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to be using it as a woodworking shop or, doing something of that nature in it. But other than that, since he's not here, we can't really ask him questions.
I'm kind of curious if anybody else agrees with the 6 foot.
I'm amenable to that.
Okay, so I move that we amend it to give them 6 foot on sides and rear.
And that's from any part of the structure. Correct. Okay.
I don't agree with that. I think 6 foot on the back is way too much. It's supposed to be 20.
Well, it backs up to borough property and we've given other people variances on.
The sides, but not the backs. Not a 15 foot. I don't know. I just have some heartburn.
Out
with
of
it.
curiosity so your motion is to amend the original motion?
To give
To-
a 6 foot variance on the side and the back.
Okay, 6 feet on the side and the
So
back.
if I second his motion, we can discuss it. Okay, I second.
You-
And that's, as we clarify, that's from any part of the structure. So, I highly doubt anybody would buy those lots behind it without buying both of the lots. I don't really see anybody wanting to buy those tiny little lots.
Those are
I also wonder
actually,
if the borough would want another residence that close to the elementary school and the playground and the children's center and everything.
sorry for interrupting, but
Yeah,
I was
go
going
ahead.
to say those are leased to the children's center.
Those
um,
lots are leased to the children's center currently.
Currently,
Yeah.
for possibility of expansion or a future center.
The lots, that's
All 4 of those.
all 4 of those lots that are back
Mhm.
there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Future building.
okay.
Well, I have some heartburn with the going from 20 feet to 5 feet on the back or 6. I just feel like, I don't know, we're giving away the farm every time we do these things.
Hmm. I know we have to look at every situation individually. And yet it is hard to not think that in the past we've given similar variances. I want to be even-handed or,
Like I said, I don't mind the side variance. It's the back one. That's just I don't know, it seems like a lot.
So what is your main objection to the back?
It's supposed to be 20 feet and he's asking for 5.
Uh-huh.
And if the 4 lots behind him get built on, that's going to impinge on people's privacy and safety.
Right.
I mean, he may not have anything electrical in that little shed, but we don't know that because he's not here to tell us. He may not have a fireplace in there or a firebox, we don't know. Don't have enough information to really make a good decision in my mind.
So the reason why I mentioned the 6 foot is because most towns have a 6 foot variance. We have a 20 foot.
In the back.
But the reason why the reason why I say that is just because it is such a small area. We don't know the space between what he's building and the house. It's not on here, obviously.
Liz, do you know what the size of that lot is? It's a 50 by 100.
So if it helps at all, I think back before the pre-85, before the current code was put in place, and we had, these smaller lot sizes at the time. I think it was 5 on the sides and 10 front and back. And then when they went to the larger minimum size, and I think also consideration for fire concerns, that's when I think the larger setbacks came into place, so. But since these lots are all legal lots, they don't have to, there's no way for them to grow to the minimum lot size, so, we have to give that consideration.
Yeah.
yeah, I see that.
And in the picture, it almost looks like there's already a building there, or is it just a cleared area? It's kind of fuzzy.
It is fuzzy. I was sort of going between the pile of gravel and just green space. I'm not sure what's there, but I don't think there is a building in the backyard. Ray, have you gone back there? I don't think there is one currently.
The lots behind it that the borough own, that the children's center lease, what are they zoned?
I believe they're zoned single family.
Frankly, the thing that concerns me even more than the back setback is the side setback. I know he says he'd have snow stops, but what's to keep the snow from sliding off the roof over onto the neighboring property or against the fence till it knocks down?
I think 6 feet would be sufficient to keep the snow on his own property, don't you? Especially with the snow stops.
My roof unfortunately is not metal, so, and I had a big sheet of ice fall off and it only fell 3 feet off the edge of it was big too, because I park in the driveway and did not hit my truck. So, thank goodness. So I think 3 to 4 feet is all you need for snow, just from that experience.
So how did that work this last winter? Uh,
Across the street from me, he has a metal roof and it all just fell onto his front right there. Mine, he has a metal roof. I have a tile, not tile, but it's that stuff. And it actually slid a little further. But it was still less than 6 feet. Only did it above where my dryer vent is. Yeah. Hardware store, we have snow stops and we didn't have that problem at all.
Further comments, questions?
The building is bigger than his house.
Maybe he's gonna turn it into a mother-in-law cottage.
Hmm.
Doesn't really, do we have any more details on what the building is, or is he given more detailed plans than this? Or is he just asking at this point for the variance?
Just asking for the variance right as of now.
Yeah. Okay, I just wonder if you had any more detail of what the design was gonna be or anything else.
Coming in or, you know,
I believe there will be electrical, but that's the only thing that
Yeah.
I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Ask that he give us a little more information, like, like Sally said, that there isn't plumbing being installed.
I asked him and he said electrical only,
Okay.
that he didn't
okay,
plan to run water or sewer back there. He
okay.
wouldn't be able to turn that into a dwelling anyway, unless he connected it somehow to the main house. Because we wouldn't allow 2 separate dwellings on one lot. Not legally.
We'd have to rezone.
I should qualify that. He wouldn't be able to do that legally.
Do we know what the slope of the roof? We know the height is 20 feet. What is it at the side?
Uh,
20 feet to top of ridge.
It's 20 feet tall at the top, at the highest point.
Right, exactly. What is it at the side? What is the,
What's the slope of the roof?
yeah.
I do not know. Well, if we have no further questions or comments, we've got the amendment and we've got the original motion. Karen, do you want to do a roll call on the amendment, please?
Heather,
Yes.
Sally,
No.
Nancy,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes. And then on the original motion?
Jim,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Sally,
No.
Heather,
Yes.
and Chris.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, could I just?
Yes.
Clarify something? So the amendment was 6 feet.
From any part
Variance.
of the building on both
Okay,
front
from the
and,
furthest,
right.
whatever,
Yeah.
furthest part of the building. Yep. And then, are you also adopting the findings of fact?
We need to make another motion to say that we're doing that, or can we just say we're doing that as part of it?
Well, if there's no change,
Yeah.
then fine and dandy, but if there's a change, then you need to make that
Yeah.
change in the document.
I don't
because-
think there's any change to the findings of fact. I
Except
think
the
it's,
six, make it 6
except make
feet,
it 6 feet.
Okay.
So,
which is the amendment. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm willing to work with that. Yeah, that's fine with me.
okay,
I'd like to qualify both my no votes as we needed more information to make a decent and informed decision.
okay. Moving on to non-agenda items, do we have any commissioner comments? Hearing none. Liz, any staff comments?
No, not at this time.
Okay. See, our next meeting is, I don't have the date on here, so
It's in April.
it's April. Yeah, I could pull up my calendar and look it up.
April 12.
I know it's later in the month.
April
The
12.
April 12th.
The April 12th at noon. Okay.
Have agenda items already, so.
Okay, so we're gonna have a meeting.
Yep.
Anybody have any ideas whether or not they're gonna be here?
I'll be here. I don't leave till the 15th.
I don't know about my schedule yet. I may be attending by Zoom. So,
Hopefully I'll be home from Fishing Grounds, but last year they got home on the 13th.
so. All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.